angels. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have followed me for a while, then you know I have struggled with depression and anxiety and life-ending thoughts. And it has been a journey to heal them. And today I just wanted to share little things that you can do every single day as anchors to change your energetic state real quick, to check in with yourself, to bring awareness and intention into little moments throughout your day, which I have found to be one of the greatest and most impactful things upon my journey is the little habits that I've implemented every single day. And I get tons of DMs all the time about how to begin the healing journey or what to do when you keep kind of relapsing or you feel like you're regressing back into old habits, or just what to do when you feel down. And I just want to say that having struggled with depression for a long time, as I'm sure perhaps a lot of you have with mental illness, these life-ending thoughts or this low vibrational spectrum of emotions of guilt and shame and hopelessness, all of those things can almost become really comfortable when you've rested in them for long enough. And I feel that sometimes the prospect of healing and living a joyous life can seem like such an uphill battle when you are so depressed. To be fully embodied in this life and to enjoy this life fully, you have to pull yourself out of the trenches and show up every single day and believe that healing is possible. And it is work, it takes work. And I think that perhaps we idealize healing in this way where we'll meditate a few times and we'll travel and we'll just become new people and all of that old programming will be left behind, and suddenly we're happy and we're like really content in this life. When in reality, it doesn't matter what changes externally, whatever programming you have within yourself, you carry it with you. And healing can be very subtle and take years, and you have to be so committed to it. And that sounds like work, and it is work, but it is so worth it. And I think for a while when I was in the depths of my depression, I just couldn't possibly imagine my life not experiencing anxiety and depression. I just thought every single day, like, I just don't know how I'm going to overcome this. I just don't see how it's possible when I keep trying and it's not working. I just thought that one day I would wake up and it wouldn't be there anymore. I didn't yet realize or have the tools or experience of every single day just being kind to myself and loving myself through the anxiety or the panic attacks. So for a while, I just could not imagine my life without depression. And I remember crying to my friend about this and saying, I hate that I'm going to have to struggle with this forever. It's so heavy. And when I finally started to believe that healing was possible, that I could exist in this world feeling light and without this heavy cloud constantly looming over me, when I finally believed that healing was possible, it happened exponentially. That is honestly step one. Wherever you are in your healing journey, or if you're in the depths of your mental illness, just please affirm to yourself that you can exist in this world without this heaviness, without this weight, that it is possible for you to have an experience of reality that is so full and so grand, where you feel in control and joyous and abundant and safe. And please call that into your psyche right now in this moment. I began, every single day showing up for myself. And after doing my first yoga teacher training and really gaining so many tools of breath work and yoga to cope with my moment-to-moment anxiety and things like this, I would still catch myself being like, why isn't this working? Why do I still struggle with this? And then I would have to remind myself that I am doing so good, that I am doing so much better than I was just a month ago or a year ago, and really pat myself on the back and reassure myself that healing is subtle and it takes time. And the fact that I got out of bed and showered and made myself a delicious meal and had, the energy to go on my yoga mat and be kind to myself, that is such amazing progress. And even if I didn't feel super fulfilled within myself that day, or even if I didn't feel happy that day, if I still felt really depressed, the fact that I showed up to my practice, to my yoga mat to check in with myself, that was so important and so pivotal that I just continued doing that every day, no matter what my result was. So I really learned not to have expectations for myself on my healing journey, to not have a timeline for myself, which I think so many of us often do. And we really want to step into the best version of ourselves, and we think that being hard on ourselves or guilting ourselves or shaming our bodies and our minds is the way to do that. But in reality, what we have to do is remind ourselves of who we really are and be so kind and loving to ourselves in those moments where we don't feel good enough, is bring love into that moment. So before I start creating a world of negativity around me and for myself, let me just realize that I'm hungry and depleted and not let myself go there. And so I started to catch myself sooner and sooner into these snowballing thoughts, and I really saved myself. I have been working from home for the past 3 years of my life, and it's taken on a whole new meaning and experience since COVID started. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I would frequent cafes and co-working spaces in New York, which would give me some kind of human interaction and make me feel a lot more productive. But being home so much, I try to make my workspace feel really good, different kind of liquids to stay hydrated, and healthy, cooling snacks that I can eat so I don't become ravenous. But I still hit that wall where I just feel like my brain is a little fried and I take a longer period of time to do short tasks, which is a sign that I just need a break and to refresh my energy, which will make me more efficient. And so my first tip is to always have my yoga mat out, and this is my refuge. I keep it out all day, not just for when I need editing breaks, but anytime I'm feeling anxious or stagnant in my energy and I just need to deepen my breath. I love to fall into a nice downward dog. This is a spine extension pose, and it helps me to elongate my breath. Forward folds are also a favorite of mine. They're perfect for grounding and release. And I also like to give myself a little massage, a little self-massage by tapping my entire body gently. This helps to activate the energy meridians all along the body and also just to bring awareness to different parts of my body. I pretty much just move in any way that feels good and try to hold poses for long periods of time unmoving. And hip openers are also one of my favorites because they're great for emotional release and help to give some ease to my lower spine and just my back in general. The next tip is to clean your entire space. If you can, once a day. This is such a cleansing feeling. I'm sure we've all had that experience of procrastinating so much that we just end up cleaning our whole house and it feels so productive and a little bit of a dopamine release. And that is so good to do when you're not procrastinating. Light a candle afterwards, make it into a ritual. Now, I am one of the biggest advocates for spending sacred time alone as an introvert, as a Scorpio, as someone who has so many passions and hobbies and desires. I have always loved to spend extended periods of time alone, also because I like to show up so fully for my community and my friends that I need time to fill up my cup. However, I'm also all too familiar with spending days and days in a row and forgetting what human interaction feels like and kind of isolating myself even further because I feel lonely. I just almost feel less worthy of connecting to my friends. And so phoning a friend anytime I feel even the littlest bit of lonely is a great way for me to stop those feelings from spiraling and just remember that I have so many people that I love and care about in my life. So I love to call someone up right in that moment, tell them how I'm feeling and vocalize it and make sure that someone I love knows. This has saved me from a lot of spiraling thoughts and instantly brings love into my reality and is a really simple thing. And of course, if you can spend time with someone in person, definitely do that. But I think calling a friend is a much more accessible in the moment thing. And kind of going along with that is eating and sharing meals with people that you love. I feel like as I've grown up, I've chosen my family that I have around me. And so doing this with people that I feel so safe with feels so amazing and is a ritual where I feel like everyone is just so present and we're just there enjoying each other's company and being sensual, enjoying the way our food tastes. But really any sacred, intentional time with your friends is so healing. Just actually having the intention of creating something beautiful together and spending time off of your phones, spending time reading to one another, praying together. That's another reason I like to eat with friends, is because you can set intentions for your meal. But I know if you're struggling with disordered eating or have struggled a lot with binge eating, it can kind of be triggering being around friends and make me less present at times. So any intentional kind of interaction, ritual that you can do with your friends is so beautiful. I personally love to read poetry to my friends and cuddle together and chant mantras and sing together. There's so many different things that you can do, but just coming together with the intention of creating love in that moment and having some healing space. Let's talk about screen time. I have no notifications on my phone. I track my screen time, which I think everyone should do. And I actually took TikTok off my phone halfway during quarantine when I realized how much time I was spending on it. But for the most part, anytime I feel myself being sucked into my phone and feel my spine become a little less straight and my breath become a little more shallow, I put my phone down and grab a book and do something that will enrich my mind and not make me feel like a cyborg in that moment. Take time every single day to do something that feeds into your dream reality, into your dream experience of life, and maybe you have to get clear on what that is, but then prioritize time every single day to getting closer to that. Maybe that's through yoga or meditation, maybe that's practicing photography, pursuing a passion project on the side, taking an online course, whatever it is, do something that inspires that flame in your heart to show up for life because you have something to live for. Sounds dramatic, but truly taking time every single day to anchor that in and call in that experience, to call in your dreams is so vital for human life. And going along with this, I am such an advocate for dreaming so big and believing that you really can achieve anything that you put your mind to, but I've also learned the importance of being practical about the timeline of your dreams and what those little steps are that you can do every day. I would have such high expectations and hopes and really romanticize every aspect of my life that I would feel so let down when I realized that certain tasks were a lot harder to complete than others. So being realistic about my dreams also keeps me really grounded. Don't spend time with energy vampires. This is one of the biggest lessons that I learned after high school, that not all human interaction feels extremely draining and leaves you feeling sad and empty. I started to find beautiful, empowered people that made me want to be a better person, that taught me so much about life and unconditional love and creativity and inspired me so deeply. People who would just fully accept and be excited about anything I would have to bring to the table. And there's just such a mutual love and understanding with these women in my life, and I really cultivated that through spending time alone and through only allowing the highest quality nourishment. I've spent honestly years just alone waiting to find my community of friends, and it was so worth it to take that time. Thank you so much for being here and for showing up for yourself today. No matter how you're showing up, it is valid and deserves so much love. And I hope that you can use these little anchors every single day to bring more intention into your routine and just more awareness to the energetic state of your body and your mind. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in a video soon. Bye!